Hello. Today's letter comes to us from Ahmed, who writes, Dear Brother Ron, does God change his mind? He then cites 3 verses from 1 Samuel chapter 15. The first would seem to indicate that God does change his mind. In 1 Samuel 15:10 and 11, we find the word of the Lord came to Samuel, I repent that I have made Saul king. Further down in 1 Samuel 15:29, we find that maybe God doesn't change his mind, where it says God will not lie or repent, for he is not a man that he should repent. But then in 1 Samuel 15:35, we find, and the Lord repented that he had made Saul king over Israel. Ahmed says, notice that the above 3 quotes are all from the same chapter of the same book. In addition, the Bible shows that God repented on several other occasions. Well, dear Ahmed, the only reason why God would change his mind would be if he became aware of something he did not previously know. Since God exists in a reality beyond our concept of space and time, he has already seen the future and knows what will happen before it happens. This means it would be impossible to surprise God and make him change his mind. Furthermore, if God repented, this would mean he had made a mistake. The dictionary tells us that to repent means that you regret a previous action. This means that God realized he had made a mistake. This would mean he is not really perfect and not really God. This violates the most basic premise of monotheistic theology. Now, the verses cited here merely reflect the limited perceptions of the early Hebrews. Like most other religions, they tended to think of God as being like themselves, only better. In other words, God had to wait to see what we did before deciding what he would do. He was a reactionary God who reacted to human events. But if God is truly omnipotent, he cannot be confined, since no force is stronger than him. This would mean the forces of space and time as well. Now, with our advanced understanding of the universe, we are now able to comprehend a God who is much more than just a celestial Superman. We can now understand him as the truly ultimate being. As such, he cannot be confined to our limited concept of space and time. You see, we think of time as a one-way street that we travel in only one direction. To God, time is an open expanse in which he can move in any direction or all directions at once. One of my basic principles of theology is that God has a plan and the plan works. He knows the plan works because he has already seen its successful conclusion. So it would be impossible for any human to sneak up on God and surprise him. Of course, our senses and mentality are still too limited to comprehend the full totality of God. But we're getting there. Thank you for joining us.